Kolchak the Night Stalker will not be seen tonight so that we may bring you the following special program. Watch Kolchak the Night Stalker next week at its regularly scheduled time. Kolchak the Night Stalker will not be seen tonight so that we may bring you the following special program. Watch Kolchak the Night Stalker next week
Can you guys hear me now? I don't know if you guys can hear me now. Um, Let me know. I'm going to try and. Okay, you guys can hear me now. Wonderful. Okay, this is always a fun battle with me because I am not good with this streaming software, and it confuses the living hell out of me. Um, so I apologize for that. Now, I understand that I'm so glad to see so many folks here because honestly, I forgot it was a long weekend in the United States. It's not one here. We had ours last week, and I really don't um, know what you guys are up to on a like a 3 day weekend. I usually go somewhere, so that's awesome. Get Scotty to boost your signal. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, dude. Um, can you hear me now? Because that would be weird. No, I cannot hear you now, but that's funny. Um, so yeah, it's been an amazing week. Very, very busy week. And I even like have a podcast to drop tomorrow, but a lot of things have kind of come to fruition this week, and it's been amazing. And I've got a bunch of stuff I want to talk. Classy silk robe. This is a really nice shirt. It's I got this from like Hong Kong, and I'm like a 7XL there, which is weird. Um, but anyway, I thought I would do all this stuff tonight. We could talk about Mego meat. We can talk about anything. Is that Spectre Man is Spectre Man in the house? There's always Spectre Man. Yeah, for sure. I have one over there. It's one of the random noirs that Scott Pierce and Sam Noir made. Why I struggled on that. Can you make the Mego dudes make Battle of the Planets 8-inch figures? Maybe. A very like an old friend of mine has the license to Battle of the Planets. He just announced he's doing a bunch of projects. So I would be able to at least give the contact name of the licenser for Tatsukanoko to Mego, and I would happily do that. And I do plan on asking him who we would talk to, and he is a huge Mego fan and would totally be down with that too. So I'm pretty sure it'll be in his best interest. Yeah, so that happened this week as well. I just haven't gotten around to dropping him a Facebook message, but yeah, I know somebody who knows somebody, and I'll definitely be the connecting force on that one. I don't know everybody. Request, yeah, with your Mego wish list, I don't think I've actually talked to anyone at Mego in like months, so like I'm gonna be surprised when some stuff comes out. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have I don't have a direct hotline to Santa there. Really, oh hi Jeff. So they still won't sell you them. How about a Mannix Mego? Oh boy. I don't know if Mannix would be a big seller these days. It's like one of those characters. It kind of disappoints me sometimes when I think of stuff that I would buy, and then I go like, "Who the hell remembers that show but me?" And it's a funny thing how the memory cheats. So the first thing I'd like to do, I've got 3 things I want to reveal and announce tonight. The first thing is to talk about issue 10 of Toy Ventures. I'm finally at a point where I'm good to reveal, and I really, really want to show you guys the cover because it's absolutely influenced by 70s Hong Kong cinema, and we're going to be, somebody actually mentioned Inframan, which is fortuitous. We put a little bit of Inframan into this. A wonderful artist by the name of Pete Carcillo, who donated his time. And oh hey, how you doing, Suzanne? Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Tura doll a little bit. And he put out the most incredible cover I think we've done so far. It is cinematic, and it set the theme for the issue to be 70s action movies, which is like, if you know me, I'm a huge fan of 70s cinema, and I also love the look and the trappings of the posters and the clothing and the colors. And so I kept that in my back pocket for most of the issue. There is some stuff going on in issue 10 that doesn't really have anything to do with 70s action, and obviously that's excluded. But it's a running theme, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And we're also telling some really important stories. So without further ado, I will play the trailer for issue 10 of Toy Ventures. So that is a preview of issue 10. We are just at the finish line with the issue. I had to hold it back for a couple of reasons, and I'm really glad I did. I mean, I'd rather be 2 weeks late than not have a good issue, and it's just packed with stuff. And we've got a lot of new voices in the magazine. The first one is my longtime friend, Robin Adams, creator of the Mego Museum, has jumped in and written an amazing, fun article about the child guidance quest. I think it's Questar, Gabriel, or whatever. Sesame Street finger puppets, and I think Robin is probably a renowned expert at this point, and it's just a and also Robin's a better artist and layout artist than me, so the first 4 pages of the magazine look great, and I didn't lift a finger, and I'm really happy about that. Then we have a few new voices contributing. Bert from Ed's Retro Geek Out channel has written a wonderful piece about the Playmates Toxic Avenger prototypes, and he has just nailed this. And I couldn't write that if I tried. He's a lover of the Playmates and the formats, and you really need a guy like that to do it. And I was really glad to have somebody talk about this stuff in the magazine, because it's difficult for me to relate to some like that's an early 90s toy. I was in my 20s, in a Kmart looking at those going, Troma? Like, that's a Troma movie. So that makes me laugh. But that's going to be a fun one. Also, as you can see, the cover story is Pulsar, the Ultimate Man of Adventure. And it was really difficult for me to write this. So I was lucky enough to be put in contact, thanks to Matt Pack, for putting me in contact with Greg Ator. And Greg Ator worked at Mattel. And so he has a really great perspective on Pulsar, wonderful photos, and he was digging around in the Mattel vaults, and he found a figure that no one's ever seen before, and it's really interesting. So I think that the Mattel was planning, I guess, for a third year of Pulsar, and they had another character in mind. So it's really interesting, and there's some fun stuff to talk about. I did a piece on Bionic knockoffs, and it's a little Toy Fair-esque, or Mad Magazine type stuff. I do kind of like doing that, and this one just kind of it just poured out of me, so I hope it's good. And one of the key stories is this issue is the Amigos del Terror by a company, I think it's called Rainbow, in Argentina. Now, the main reason for me wanting to do an Amigos del Terror article was to get a Amigos del Terror patch, premium. Damn, wow. So this is going to be the mail-in gimme serial prize of issue 10, and that is a Amigos del Terror patch. And I was very, very lucky to have a friend in Argentina who is also a very talented pop culture photographer and writer. So I just tapped him. It was a good friend of mine by the name of Uriel. And I just tapped him for information. I was like, do you know anything about this company? And he went, yeah, I'll get you something. And I went, okay. And then I got 2,500 words on the subject of the Amigos del Terror, the Argentinian toy industry, and the whole monster culture going on there in the early 80s. And I'm blown away. I've actually had to cut pages out of my stuff because this is so Such a good story. Um, we've got Steve Stovall has returned to finish up the Super Joe stories in the next issue. He's wrapping it up with fan club stuff, but this is not over. First of all, we I do want to dedicate some time to Super Joe Unlimited in the magazine because it's bringing back that awesome toy line, but also like those Super Joe bodies were used in Mexico as Siglo Triple X, but I think it means year 3000. Um, they were reused by the French company Sager Bois for Battle of the Planets and Goldorak. They were used for what's his name there? Space Academy by Aviva. They got around, and so there'll be more installments of that because Steve has all that stuff and all that knowledge, and I love reading his stuff because I'm learning. Um, yeah, and Super Joe Unlimited will be at PowerCon, both Jason and Steve, and they're trying to work in a panel for them this year. I was talking to the showrunner of PowerCon because we're doing Mego Meet, and those guys are they're going to be in the Mego Meet, uh, area, what you call it. Um, but yeah, Steve's done a wonderful job. Then we have regular articles like Lester Toy Shop and Chance Priest. Chance moving right now, so I don't know what he chose to do yet. But he's always really easy to do at the end. And Ray Castile's working on some stuff too, of course. And yeah, it's going to be a real blast of an issue. I got some new information on Shindana. I did a little bit of work on that one. That's kind of an obsession of mine. So I've got this great article about Slade, and that's going to be it's going to tell the history of Shindana, and I've got all the really interesting stuff I've never seen before. I got it off a friend of mine, Matt Suggs, and yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And we're also Vince Sarabone is writing a piece on Action Jose, the Kung Fu Man. That is a toy line that like 8 people care about, but I'm one of those people, and so I wanted to publish this. It's really going to be a fun one, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting in the issue. Hold on. Oh yeah, the Planet of the Apes coverage. I'm finishing up U.S. Mego Planet of the Apes coverage, and the best thing about that is I realized, hey, how you doing, guys? I realized that I actually didn't own certain pieces that I thought I did, and they were all common pieces. But of course, I like to photograph them here in the studio because I can get a better shot. And um, you go on eBay and you look at all the listings and everything says like, oh yeah, these all sell for about $60, but you're not going to find it in the week and a half you need it for the magazine for $60. So like I there was like 2 guys, like one guy had one for like $200 and it was in terrible condition, and then um, another guy had one that like for 150 and he just wouldn't budge, and eventually I went back and forth with him, and finally he just like I think I caved. I can't remember, but I needed that piece, and it's like, well, I don't have this. Um, so we're tackling the boxed figures, the mystery of the boxed figures. We're tackling the accessories, the throne, the jail, the battering ram, and then we're taking on the play sets as well, the fortress and the forbidden zone, and then we'll move on to either Japan or England or Mexico in subsequent issues. Like, I really want to make about 100 pages about the Mego Planet of the Apes line. uh, Eventually, I want to make a huge book of it, and it's definitely like one of my passions, and it's one of those things. But there's a lot going down with each issue that really, I never thought I'd be doing. Um, Report showed what happened when I, yes, yeah, Mark Stevenson is actually quoting me. And yes, my friend said John McGonigal, a wonderful, legendary toy dealer in Long Island, who had some crazy stuff. Um, he said to me when I was 16 years old, I think he said, I saw the Logan's Runs figures. They exist, and he owned the Ralph Hinckley because he got it at like a Long Island flea market, or his friend did. I think his friend got it for him. He was just a Mego employee selling stuff, and he grabbed it. And so I kind of always believed John, and clearly he was right. Sadly, he did not. I don't think he passed away in the early 2000s, maybe, which was too bad. He was young, and but he was a great guy. He was an influential guy. The Okay, so what I thought I would do now, thinking about collecting adventure people, I actively do collect adventure people. I love I love that line. I try to keep it to like stuff I find boxed and Canadian. I don't usually search it out on like eBay or anything like that. I just kind of like hope I see it in the wild, and I do see a ton of Fisher Price toys in the wild, but I never find them boxed or carded. Like I think I have about 3 or 4 items, which I always find at the same antique mall. I don't know why, but everything I own comes from one place, the Freelton Antique Mall. Maybe a former employee lives nearby. I'm not sure. Anyway, I would like very much to talk about. Oh, sorry, I just should finish up on issue 10. Issue 10 will be available for sale tomorrow. If you're a subscriber and your subscription has run out, I will remind you tomorrow. I'm just working on that list right now. If you don't hear from me, you're covered. And what's the other thing? Oh, and subscriptions will begin with issue 10 tomorrow as well. So you're all covered. And of course, you can always hit me up on my email address. You have a problem, let me know, and I'll fix that problem. So, Chris, I love Matchbox Mobile Action Command. That's awesome. I think what I'd like to talk about right now is the Tura Satana action figure. This has been. Hi, Rich. Nice to see you. This has been something I've wanted to do for ages. In fact, Jason Schiermeyer from White Elephant Toys, when he was talking about Betty Page, I jokingly said to him, "Next, you got to do Tura Satana," and he went, "Who?" And 5 years later, we're seriously doing this, and it's just been a joy. Like when you throw me into a project in, in China where you can't like that, you can't keep your eyes on the prize all the time. It is a form of gambling, and I am no gambler. I do not gamble, and so you put a bit of yourself in there, and oh, am I frozen? You hope for the best, and you try. So this one has been easily the best of. Sorry, I keep lagging here. This one has been one of the best journeys I've had. None of my experiences were bad, but they're always hard, you know. Um, and this one was the total upside, where I made friends, I had fun, and everybody was great. I mean, Jason and Suze over at Tura Satana were amazing. And I met, Joseph Michael Linsner, who is someone I've admired for a long time. And we put together something that I'm excited about. So I've put together a little commercial for Tura, and then I will unbox her. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry. Uh, but here we go. Let's go with the Tura promo. Hang tight. I just want to make sure that I'm all set up here. All right. And
gentlemen, to the encased and contained within the supple skin of woman.
Try again, I get funnier.
so, yeah, I spent my entire day making that today. And I felt like it was time well spent. Oh, I'm not back yet. Why am I not back? I think I'm back, but it's taking forever. What's going on now? There's a massive delay in the time, and I think I was actually paying attention to the wrong time. So I am here. This feels like that great Mr. Show sketch, the taped call-in show. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but sorry. Um, so yeah, Tura arrived on Friday morning, and my entire family was present, and we all were like losing our minds because I was expecting it for Monday, and but I mean, my God, this was a very welcome surprise. So yeah, I got the box, and Jason was kind enough to let me to get me one. I owe him the FedEx charge, but right off the first one, right off the assembly line, which will go to Sue's at Tura Satana. But I just really like since we started this, I was like, I want to have a photo session with this thing. Like, I want to do this right. I bought a Barbie car, I painted it, I put together this backdrop, and I had this whole vision, and I was able to, actually do this today, and it was, it felt so validating and good. This is, of course, what we wanted to do with this, which was kind of like a homage to the Big Jim pack line. There were no females in the Big Jim pack line, and she would have fit right in. And Joseph's art was just exactly who we needed for this. And Jason already had a pre-established relationship with him through Betty Page, and it just worked right out. So holding this, I was just like shaking and, super excited, because this is something, I haven't held. And, yeah. And then, of course, like the anticipation, it's like Schrodinger's cat, like what's in here. So I'm going to break this box because I suck at this. She comes wonderfully in a little package there. It's just fantastic. She can't get damaged in transit. The first thing I noticed about her, and I will get her right up to the camera right now, is her hair. This is the nicest hair fabric I've ever felt. Like, it's so incredibly soft and well done, and that's Jason's people who did this, of course, and they did a wonderful job. We had to tool the glove hands, but there was just no way we could get away with anything else. You needed to have those short gloves. We had to tool the boots. They're a little wide at the top, but that's because of the figure's construction and the timing of putting these together, because we had to, hi, Stephen, we had to basically, we've got a budget, and that includes the people's time. So we did the best we could on those, and I think they look good. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I mean, I've always wanted to work with Jason. I can remember like 10 years ago drawing action figure designs drunkenly at a Mego meet and saying, I want to do this and I want to do that, but we never had the time. And this was the right time. Jason's an expert on the factory. He knows his stuff, and he makes great toys. I'm sure a lot of you have purchased White Elephant toys, and they're great. Babasonics. No, I have to check Babasonicos. I'll have to check it out. I love that name. It really this is really just about my favorite project ever. And I cannot wait for her to come out. As soon as we hear it's shipping, we will be sending out. There's a mailing list you can join. It's on our site, and you will be given 24 hours notice that she's available, and also anybody who orders during that period will get a free postcard of Joseph's awesome artwork. And it's just going to be like, I think it's going to be a real big hit, but I think everyone's going to get one, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to be selling them equally, Jason and myself, so you can order them from White Elephant Toys, you can order them from me. There's no competition here. We both want to succeed, and we both want to do additional variations of this figure if we can get them going. I'd love to do a black and white version. I would actually really like to do something with the Astro Zombies license if I could. It'd be a lot of fun. And so this is a to be continued sort of affair. But yeah, I would imagine that we'll be putting Tura up for sale probably in the next probably in the next 2 weeks. I would imagine that's going to happen. It's going to be the summer of Tura, And hopefully we have some left for Mego Meet 2023. All right. So yeah, this has been a really incredible, fun week for toys. And before I get to the ape commercials, uh, I would like to also open up my mail. Essentially, this also arrived on Friday, and it's a box of knockoffs and some stuff my friend wants me to sell for him. And this friend has a lot of eclectic stuff. And yeah, Astro Zombies is one of my favorite drive-in type movies. I do like Ted V. Michaels a lot, but Astro Zombies are so cool looking. And I know that Tim Barron's done some really killer artwork with them too. And I'd love to get him involved somehow too. I think if I did get the Astro Zombies license, I would have to. I could only work with Tim. All right. So this is a package that I got. Oh God. Okay. My buddy calls it the cavalcade of crap. And has the factory got the original tooling for Tura? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, the first thing is he has like this weird. They always have the tag on them. These are like Supermans he found in a damaged box, and I think he bought a whole bunch of these. So he always gives them to me to sell. Last one had a backer card. The prices on Tura Satana will be $29.99. So yeah, this is just another one. I don't know how many of these he has, but I think this is like number 3 he sent me. Like I said, this guy has an eclectic collection of stuff, and a lot of really insane vintage. Yes, it is a Misfits song. That's right. This is another of the Supergirls. I've had a couple of these. What they are essentially is just a knockoff Barbie dressed like a superhero. This kind of like is like a yellow Batman cape. No connection to Mego or anyone. This is not even a licensed property, although she does have a magic lasso, so I guess it's supposed to be kind of like Wonder Woman, but I love these. I have a bunch of these, and they're just kind of hilarious because they're definitely, they're like when you bought Imperial Toys puffy stickers, and they like, this kind of looks like Star Wars. There you go. Cowboys and Indians, and it is a 8-inch Mego action figure. I think this is like the AJ. I don't even know, but like the AJ cowboy outfit, maybe. But it's William Shatner. So this must be, well, it can't be his Kung Fu episode because he had a great big handlebar mustache. But I don't know. That is William Shatner as a cowboy, which I think William Shatner pictures himself as. It's not the greatest name on the world, Cowboys and Indians, but we all recognize it. Play figure. Yeah. Bizarre. And Imperial Toys dinosaurs are my childhood, dude. I love those. And we got another of the superhero action figure, action play figure. I've had a couple of these. They're just Mego, like end pieces. There's the Go Gay Toys. We've had a few of those. $1.99, eh? And yeah, what they did was they usually just put like a superhero logo on a loose Mego that wasn't like all there. And this one is the fist fighting Palitoy Captain America. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that head paint, but he's He's looking weird. He's got some very, very red lips and goofy eyes. This is definitely a factory reject, I guess. Um, no idea. I don't know how many of these I need in my life, but I have a bunch. So yeah, this is my little knockoff haul for the month. Um, the trouble with these things is they just don't display well. Like, you can't stack them or put them in any kind of order. Currently, I have them in like an acrylic cube, and they're just all kind of like pouring out of it. And it's like, this is kind of depressing. It looks like a Japanese subway. So I really haven't been able to figure out. I think I might just have to pare the collection down a little bit. Yeah. Corporal Merca, that's funny. Captain Yankee. Roddenberry, yeah. Kingdoms of Spiders, Shatner, that's awesome. Devil's Reign, I've thought about Devil's Reign like 3 times this weekend. I don't know what that means, but I hope it doesn't mean I have to watch Devil's Reign again. Uh, I like William Fuse movies, but that is not one of them. So, but, like, yeah, pegboard, like orange pegboard, like I'm a Max Milk. Yeah, I've thought about doing that. Chris, yeah, I have a bunch of cowboy stuff if you're interested. But just hit me up. The whatchamacallit? Before, take the shirt off Shatner figure and you have a white Comanche variant. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that film. That's a Shatner film, right? Yeah, that's funny. So, the final thing I wanted to do this evening was to debut the Planet of the Apes TV commercials that I picked up about, I guess, about a month ago. A couple of friends actually wrote me that they were for sale at Just Kids Nostalgia, and I really freaked out about them. TV commercials are something like a trigger for me. I don't know. But if we haven't seen them in a while or ever, I really would love to restore them. And I kind of got hooked on doing that. And it's really expensive. So I don't do it a lot. You have to pick your battles. And I think this is about the first time in like 5 or 6 years that I've been able to afford to do it, because this cost me about $600. And it's just so you can see them again. And right now, also, my friend Tony Analog Toys has a GoFundMe going to release all the original beautifully restored Palatoy Mego commercials. Actually, there's just tons of Palatoy commercials. And I took the same process as those. So I know that the money he's raising is just recouping costs, because like they charge by the foot. And, I had these Apes commercials put in liquid so they could get all the best sound out of them, because as we all know, like the Mego Planet of the Apes commercials, the transfers are terrible. And so, this is kind of like a personal best for me, because I've always really wanted to see them without that, that projector talk. And we got it. I was on pins and needles for a month. They arrived on Monday, and believe it or not, Rob Chatelain saw them before me. Uh-oh. Okay. And so, without further ado, let's show those Apes commercials, shall we?
Mego presents the Planet of the Apes action figures. Dr. Zaius, the orangutan scientist. Cornelius, the archaeologist. Zira, the woman scientist. The soldier ape. And the astronaut. All Planet of the Apes action figures sold separately by Mego. It's the Planet of the Apes Treehouse gift set with action figures. You assemble it yourself. Pretend that your apes capture the astronaut. Place him in the ape's net or on the ape's operating table or in the ape's prison. Can you make the astronaut escape? Planet of the Apes Treehouse gift set includes everything you see here. Treehouse and action figures also available separately from Mego.
It's Crazy Foam, the super soap that makes it fun to take a bath.
Batman, Robin, Superman!
Crazy Foam!
Batman, Robin, Superman!
Crazy Foam!
Yeah, so as you know, I threw the Crazy Foam in there. I'm a huge Crazy Foam obsessor, and I'm having some issue with a file here. Anyway, basically the Crazy Foam thing is so connected to Mego for me because I think the Crazy Foam was like on the shelf above the the Mego superheroes when I was like in Eaton's as a kid, and they just super excited me. And boy, I'm having something just go in and out. Hang on, sorry. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, this is going to drive me crazy. I have a notice just going in and out. Hang on 1 second. There we go. I turned off notifications. I'm so happy with those transfers. It's a place called Digital Archive here in Toronto. They've done all of my transfers for the last, I think, 10 years. And they've never disappointed me. You know, they did the Dr. Steel. And I almost feel like bringing the Dr. Steel one back and getting the full restoration treatment because I just absolutely love that commercial. It's so ingrained. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but recently another fellow has put up all the Big Jim Pack commercials. And really, really amazing. And I'd seek them out if you can because they're just brilliant. So, on that note, I'm probably gonna head out because I'm gonna pass out. I've been working since 8 a.m. on this, but just to recoup a couple of things, issue 10 will be on sale tomorrow. Cover story is Pulsar. The giveaway is a beautiful Amigos del Terror patch. And Tura will probably be on sale in a couple of weeks. You can join our mailing list. You can find it at Plaid Stallions. You can find it at White Elephant Toys. And we'll alert you when she goes up for sale. There's no cost. I will never email you again about that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Ape commercials. I really enjoyed bringing them to you. I really wanted to share them with people who get it. I mean, you know, you guys are hard to find. And so, you know, we have to spread our bandwidth to get together. And speaking of get-togethers, I'll see some of you at Mego Meet 2023. We have a handful of dealers' tables left. They're at a reduced rate. And like this is a much more higher traffic show. We're gonna have like a Mego Meet space at the show, which will be absolutely perfect. And I would love to screen these and some other commercials at Mego Meet. Hopefully we can figure that out. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining me tonight. And I'll talk to you soon. I usually hang out in the Pod Stallions group or at the Mego forums. And it's just been amazing. Thank you all so much. I can't begin to thank you. I started Toy Ventures magazine in a really weird place in my life, and it is just taken me places, and ups and downs, but learning experiences and having fun. And now I realize, like, I only have so much time, and I want to get some really amazing stuff done. So you may not see me that much online, but know I'm working in the background on something. Anyway, gonna go have a drink with the wife and go to bed. So thanks everybody, and have a great evening.